Live league action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, hit up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action. aucklandleague.co.nz.
Oh my
Some
dear.
of the hits in this one here.
Love the college rugby league.
Williams again leading the way. Murray getting involved as well. They come back towards the middle of the park. And oh, guess what? Another big hit. Knock on, so what a hit there from here.
Love the college rugby league. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, rugby league fans. This is the one we've been waiting for, 2:30 here at the home of the Pirates, and what a game we have coming up for you. Before we get to the preamble, though, we're going to bring in the chairman from the Point Chevalier Pirates, John Wettery, and he's going to join us, and we're going to have a talk about what's happening down here at the club and what the vibe's like with the Point Chevalier Pirates hosting a Root Rooster match up against the Glenora Bears. And as we wind the clock back to the first game of this season, there was only 1 point that separated these two teams. So this is going to be a massive clash. Stay with us as we welcome in John from the Point Chevalier Pirates. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. And we've got Big John with us, mate, and the home of the Pirates. What's the vibe like down at the club, mate?
Oh, it's great at the moment. It's been buzzing all week. We've been looking forward to this match. I think everyone has been.
Absolutely. And what's the sort of like, you know, the noise around the club rooms as we get ready for this clash?
Oh, she's full on. We've got the old boys day today, so
Okay.
we've got a few of the old boys here. They're looking forward to it. A few of them turned up to Glenora last time to watch the game, so they left happy, and we're hoping to leave happy again
Well,
this game.
mate, there was only 1 point in it in the first game of the season, and it was obviously the replay of the grand final from last year, and a wee bit of pain for the Pirates in regards to the grand final. Coming out of that, I'd probably say, it'd be fair to say, they shook some of that off with the opening match of this year's 2018 Fox season.
Oh, definitely.
Today, though, are we back to scratch? Everyone's on a clean canvas? What's your feeling?
Back to scratch. We're taking this round exactly how we started it. All guns blazing, you know, 0-0, 0 on the point score. We're just gonna.
You sound a bit nervous, John. You sound a bit nervous, eh?
I've been looking forward to this game for a while.
Yeah, well, look, mate, the other thing too is that, you know, whilst the Auckland Rugby League are down here, I want to say thank you very much for hosting the ARL. On a day like this, you know, what happens down at the club? Can anyone come down after the match? You know, tell us what happens down there.
Oh, everyone's welcome. We've had a few good responses from different clubs. We invite all teams that come play down here at Walker to the club afterwards. They leave real happy with the meals that we got there. It's only $5 meals. You know,
Yep.
School boys, they put on great meals for everyone. So, you know, and then we come down, they have a couple of beers with the boys. You know, everyone's friends after the game, so that's the main thing.
Well, mate, I know that one of the coaching staff that is in the Glenora setup, Ross Ueli, he's had a wee bit of pirate blood in him also growing up, so I dare say it'll be a good thing for him to come back and have a couple of quiet beers down at an old club that he used to run around in.
Definitely.
Mate, also, you know, with all clubs, there's lots of support that's needed, and sponsorship's a big part of that. Yep. So let's talk to your sponsors and give them a shout out, mate. You know, who's looking after you this year?
Oh, Ortex. We're grateful for Mike Robinson and everything he does for us. We've got Grant and Ellie from the Greyland Tavern.
Yep.
We've got Grant down there having a couple of sausages at the moment. Grant also told me if you're not doing nothing, go on a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock, have a game of cards with him, poker, Texas Hold'em at his pub. Always go down there and play with him, so it's always awesome. Him and Ellie are a great company. We've got 09 Customs, O2 Physio Centre, they're awesome. They've been doing so much for the boys at the moment. You know, making them all fit and all.
Yeah.
So, concrete slab specialists. You know, they do heaps for us as well. So we're grateful for all our sponsors.
You got a list as long as your arm.
Oh, I just can't even think of the rest of them at the moment. So I apologise to those ones I haven't mentioned.
And mate, look, I know you're busy, you know, hosting and what have you. And Corey Rosser from the ARL TV team will be here shortly to talk to some of the coaches before we get into it. But mate, as far as the Pirates are concerned, you know, of this clash for you personally, what's your pick? How do you think this is going to unfold today?
It's going to be really close, but I'm picking us by at least 2 points, 1 point as well. I think it's going to be exactly the
2
same.
points or 1 point, hey, so not much different from the first game we did at the beginning of the season.
I think it's going to be really close.
All right.
Forward to it.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time again on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League. Thanks very much for hosting us down here. Best of luck for today. And as John said, if you're in the area, by all means, you know, come down and join with the club this afternoon, this evening. Doors are open. Everybody's welcome down there. And if you've got a youngster that's out there looking to play, contact the Pirates. You can get to them through their website or Facebook.
Facebook or website. Yeah, thank you for that.
No problem.
The website's going. It looks awesome.
Yep.
Had a quick peek, but yeah, definitely Facebook. And contact the secretary, my lovely wife.
What's her number, mate, so we can tell everyone?
I actually only got it down as the wife on my phone, so I don't know
okay,
her number.
well, ring John's wife and you can come and play. So don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Ross will be back with the build-up for the big game, and we'll be talking to the coaches. It's going to be a fantastic humdinger bell ringer. So come back. 2:30 kickoff. I'm having a quick look up at the clock there, not far off the mark, and Corey will be with the team. So don't go too far away. Okay, you're all good? Mic's on.
Oh, we're now joined by Glenora assistant coach Ross Ueli. Well, Ross, I imagine since round one, you've probably had this game circled on your calendar. You lost by 1 point back then at home. You know, what's the mood been like this week in camp?
The mood's been pretty well. They've, you know, just prepared like it's another game.
Okay.
You know, yeah, we lost it by that 1 point. There wasn't much in it, so it's basically we've just improved. And basically what we focus on is our continued improvement throughout all the games for the first round. And yeah, so far we're sticking to it and we're doing well. Can't ask any more from the boys. The boys are aiming up and they're doing the best that they can be, and that's what we ask for them, as players. Yeah.
Of course, you say it's just another game, but it's in some ways not just another game. The roof's on the line. It's first, second. You can go even on points this week. So, you know, with Bernie in camp this week, I guess, has he made a sort of concerted effort to just calm things down and try and keep everyone pretty level?
Oh, Bernie's a calm man, so
Yeah.
basically what it was is basically just enhancing what we've been doing. And yeah, we just got to tighten up on a few things, you know, on our rugby and so forth. But no, it's just it's game on as usual. We'll be played probably more intense. Yeah, there'll be more intense. There'll be a level of intensity that's going to be built up defence-wise and going through our attack sets here. So we're looking forward to the game.
A couple of big boys out, the Bernard boys both out, I believe. And outside of that, what's the injury situation like for you guys right now?
Oh, well, they're probably about the only two at the moment. So, you know, but then we've got like what the beauty of our senior squad this year is that we've got some depth, and you know, we played a little bit. We've got some good depth. We've got young players coming on. Like, well, Roman was sitting on there for 18th man, but he's gone back down to reserve grade because we're the same playing 17 from last week is strong again this week. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Good victory last week against Mount Albert, a pretty comfortable one in the end. What was the main takeaway? What did you like out of that one?
Well, we studied them all week and went on their defence and we worked on that. And, just Burns just says we just got to enhance what we're doing. Nothing different. We just got to, there's no Superman on the team. We just got to gel, work together, and points will come. And basically, we're just patient. I think just the belief in the boys and the trust that they have each other on defence and on attacks is working for us.
Round one, we saw a torrid middle battle already in this game, and the middle battle was huge. Is it likely to be the case again today, or you'd expect the ball will get moved around a little bit more?
Well, as you could just see, there's 2 big forward packs up there warming up, so I got a feeling we're going to play in the middle for a bit. We're going to play for the middle. We've just got to earn the right to go wide. So first of all, we've got to dominate that middle, and that's why they've got big forwards. We've got big forwards and both mobile packs, so it's going to be a really interesting game.
You lost the Root Rooster, obviously, in round one. How much of a motivating factor is that to try and get that back? You held it for, I guess, the back end of last year. How big is that on the agenda?
Well, they say, Lenoman says, we lost it to them and they went through undefeated and now it's come back to the second round. And so it's like looking at us, so maybe it's time for us to take it back.
It's fate.
Yeah, it's fate.
Hey, Ross, we're going to let you get back out to continue warming up the boys. And all the best today.
Yep,
and good luck.
Good luck. Cheers.
Cool, we are back live with Point Chevalier coach Zane Pocklington. Well, Zane, undefeated so far. You kept it going last week. It was a bit of a thriller, a close one. You had to play for the full 80. Perhaps a very good build-up to a game like this.
Yeah, definitely. How it took us right to the line. They probably finished stronger than we did. But no, it was good to hold on to the route. But we're focused on this week.
The performance itself against Howick, were you pleased with it? And what were the main takeaways from it?
Yeah, we played good football for about 50 minutes.
Okay.
Kind of dropped off once we got to a lead. Little uncharacteristic errors.
Okay.
But yeah, we've identified that and slowly tried to adjust this week.
And we have noticed in the reserve grade game going on behind us, a familiar face, Siwa Otanuku, whose retirement didn't last too long. He's back playing fullback. Are we likely to see Siwa make his way back into your squad in the coming weeks?
I have no doubt Siwa's class might do a cameo with us up at topside.
Yep.
With the loss of Ollie, Tomavavi,
Yep.
we need a little bit of experience to come back. Medi Fatsatua is killing it at the back for us at the moment. But anytime we get someone like Siwa coming back, it's good for our culture and our process, just his experience to help the boys lift.
Were you tempted to bring him back for this one with it being such a big game, or did you really think Matty had deserved to hold that spot?
No, well, there's no plan with Siwa just yet.
Okay.
We're just letting him find his feet. At the moment, he wanted to play football, and yeah, like you said, he got itchy feet. So there's no forecast of what's happening. We're just glad that he's with us, and we'll take each game as it comes.
Close games have been a real trend for you guys this year. I think 3 victories by 1 point, a couple by sort of that 4-point range. Is that a positive that you've, for most of the season, had to survive in the grind and I guess work victories out that way?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a positive, but it's definitely kept us on our toes.
Yeah,
We're always
yeah.
trying to improve, always training that week. We know we've got a lot of work on, so we're not playing our best football as of yet, so we've got a lot of improvement in us. And it's good that we're halfway through the year and we can still keep building till semi-final time.
We just spoke to Ross Ueli, who thought it would be another big battle in the middle of the park as it was in round 1. Are you picking it's going to be a similar style to what we saw in round 1, where the packs just sort of went at each other and that was where the game was won?
Yeah, definitely. Glenora's got a massive pack, and on average they only let in 6.7 points a game.
Yeah.
So defensively they're probably the best team in the comp. We'd like to go toe-to-toe for them set for set. So yeah, it's always going to be one in the middle in a game like this.
All right, Zane, thanks for joining us. We're going to let you go and finish warming the boys up. A big day today. Roop on the line, top of the table clash. All the best.
Thanks.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to our live stream broadcast. The big curtain raiser, we are building up towards kickoff here at Walker Park. Of course, earlier in the day, well, we saw a magnificent game between the Mount Albert Lions and Papakura Sea Eagles. Papakura getting up for their second victory of the year, 26-22 in the end. As we see now on screen, the top of the table, Point Chevalier Pirates, the undefeated Point Chevalier Pirates going through their warm-up. They do have a couple of probably key men out today. Francis Ledger, who is up on Vodafone Warriors duty with the reserve grade side. Oli Tomavavi, who's out injured. And a couple of little changes to the bench as well. But it's still a very strong side. We're going to have a look through it in a little bit. As well as the Glenora Bears, who come into this one fairly well at full strength. They've got the Bernard boys, Kurt and Chase, who are out injured. But other than that, they are fit and raring to go. And crucially, key men, Jordan Tolde, Zach Tippins, and Palima Siaki playing really good footy. So it shapes as a huge game. In the meantime, we're going to take a little look at some of the results that have gone on around Auckland over the last few weeks. It's round 10 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, the official halfway point of the season. So starting with what's going on around the grounds today, a couple of big games that are taking place across Auckland. We've already seen Mount Albert versus Papakura. Otahuhu take on the Marist Saints at Bert Henham Park. Shapes as a big one for Otahu's hopes of keeping track with that top four, but also a massive game for the Marist Saints, who are still yet to pick up their first victory of the year. Came close last week against Richmond, but no luck. Northcote, they are at home to the Mangere East Hawks. A big game for Northcote there as well. They jumped into the top four last week. Mangere East as well, who have been improving over the last couple of weeks. Howick Hornets, they're at home to the Richmond Bulldogs at Paparoa Park. Howick unlucky not to pick up a victory last week against Point Chevalier. Came very close in the end. They take on a Richmond side who picked up their second win of the year last week. And the big one, Point Chevalier up against Glenora here at Walker Park. That really headlines the action this week. Let's take a look at some of the results from around the grounds last week as well. Northcote got up for a 28-12 victory over Otahuhu. A big win for them. It jumped them into the top four for the first time this year. Jeff Morton's side getting better as they go. They did it last week without one of their veterans as well, Dylan Moses. So positive signs there for the North Shore club. Glenora were comfortable 26-8 winners over the Mount Albert Lions. Richmond Bulldogs got home 34-20 against the Marist Saints in a funny old game that toed and froed. There was a number of sin binnings, and it was a hard game to get a read on for the most part, but Richmond getting up for the victory in the end. Mangere East were 42-30 winners over the Papakura Sea Eagles, while Point Chevalier 3-point winners 33-30 over the Howick Hornets. With that result, they retained the Root Rooster Challenge Trophy and of course their unbeaten start to this year. We're going to bring up the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder now and take a little look at how things stand after 9 games. We've got the team list up on screen right now. Perhaps we'll save them for a little bit later on. Take a look now at the competition ladder. And there will be a little change to this. The earlier game today means that the Papakura Sea Eagles are now on 4 points. The Mount Albert Lions remaining on 12, so that'll be the only change. But at the top, it is the undefeated Point Chevalier Pirates. They have set a ferocious pace to start this year. They've gone the entire first round undefeated, perfect 9 from 9, followed closely by Glenora. Their only loss in round 1 against the Pirates. Northcote following in behind on 12 points. They're tied on points with Mount Albert and Howick. Of course, those two sides with the chance to jump 2 clear of Mount Albert, given they lost earlier today. Nestled in just behind the Otahuhu Leopards on 8 points. They've made a great start to life back in the first division. Mangere East, Richmond, Papakura, who have drawn even on points with Richmond now with that win earlier today. And at the bottom, the Marist Saints still yet to pick up their first victory of the year. So that's how things look in the first division. We'll run you through some of the second division results as well, with that competition really starting to heat up. And Bay Roskill, well, they were comfortable winners. Comfortable is probably not the right word. 110-12 over the Papatoetoe Panthers, and a big result last week. So the Bay Roskill Vikings, similar to Point Chevalier, at the top and undefeated. Ellerslie got up 38-4 over the Pakadanga Jaguars. Franklin continued their excellent start to the year. They sit in second position on the ladder, 35 points to 28 over the Northern Brothers. Manurewa Marlins 60-32 winners over Hibiscus Coast. Manukau 28-16, a bit of an upset result, that one. Manukau getting home against New Lynn. Otara Scorpions comfortable 58-12 winners over the Mount Wellington Warriors. And the West Auckland Derby, another upset. Waitemata Seagulls 20, Te Aratu Roosters 14. And we do have the Sharman Cup ladder, which we will have a little look at here and run you through how things stand in that competition. As we see the Pirates going through their last little warm-ups. And while we don't have a graphic, we can run you through some of the results. Bay Roskill Vikings at the top, 14 points, perfect 7 from 7. Franklin are in second position. Ponsonby, Ellerslie, Te Aratu and Otara headline a four-way jam. And then nestled in just behind New Lynn and Northern Brothers at the bottom. A big clash today when Papatoetoe take on Hibiscus at the bottom of the ladder. So that is the action from around the grounds. I'm now going to welcome in my commentary partner, Troy Hardy. Well, Troy, a good curtain raiser to start the day. The weather's starting to turn a little here. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit and some dark clouds gathering. But I think either way, whether it is dry or wet, we are set for a torrid middle battle today. It's going to be won or lost in the middle of the field, and these two teams have got two of the best forward packs around.
Absolutely. I don't think, from your preamble, they spoke about both coaches, earning the respect or the right to go to the edges. That just makes my mouth water in regards to the size of these packs, because there's going to be some big directional hits. Looking forward to that. And as we said, in part of our lead-up, there was only 1 point that separated these two teams at the beginning of the season, and it's going to be a fantastic match today. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be in for a rough ride.
Well, we look back to last year. Glenora went the whole season without a loss to Point Chevalier. There was a draw and 3 or 4 victories in there. But round one, well, it was the Pirates who got home. A Tiva Narona field goal late in the piece, getting them an 11-10 victory. But since then, Glenora have been superb. They haven't dropped a game, had some big victories as well. They concede under 10 points a game, and their attack is pretty hot as well. So plenty to like about this Bears team, and plenty of reason to think these are two teams that will be right up there come the business end.
And Corey just managed to pick up with a couple of the old boys from the chairman's chat today. You heard that there is an old boys day down at the Point Chevalier Pirates. And some of the old boys are here. They're just pulling out their Zimmer frames now and getting ready to wheel out. They'll have busted legs, arms, jaws, kneecaps will be blown, ankles will be lit, but they're going to do a guard of honour. So about 5 minutes before kickoff, they're going to line up and welcome the Pirates onto the home park here as we get ready for one of the biggest clashes in 2018. Pirates up against the Bears.
And that's pretty cool. Always cool to see, I guess, the link back to players of years gone by. And a strong old boys network. We see a number of clubs doing it these days. It's really good to see. If you are just tuning in, you missed a hell of a curtain raiser. Papua Seagulls getting up for their second victory of the year over the Mount Albert Lions. It's a heck of a game. Jamal Hunt really leading the front there, and awesome. Little brother Phoenix not far behind him.
Actually, Phoenix probably pulled off a number of really massive hits, quite deceptive for the size of the boy, and he certainly made his impressions felt today, and was pretty sharp around the ruck as well. Oh, here come all the good-looking fellas, probably off screen, and maybe the camera guys will be able to pick this up. The most awesome, good-looking young men from the Point Chevalier Pirates, past players, although some of them probably want to put their boots on now and have a run around, being led out there by Dave Tompkins. And you can see them all walking past now, getting ready to form their guard of honour as the Pirates are warming up in the background. And couple of the speedy. Being an independent person that I am, I'm finding it very hard to be out there with the old boys. All right, and there's a legend in himself. Young David is there as well, so I'm going to shake his hand over to you, Corey.
Yeah, really cool to see the guys out, a number of them in their Pirates hoodies as well, showing their support for the team. And why wouldn't you? The Pirates going to find counted themselves so far this year. Some massive individual matchups in this one. Watch out for the battle between young Dylan Tavita in the halves for Point Chevalier and Jordan Taude in the halves for Glenora. Tolde, well, he was close to the best man on the field when the Auckland representative side played a couple of weeks ago. He scored 2 individual tries, set up a number more, and just directed play beautifully. Young Tavita, well, he's got a few years on Tolde. He played in the under-20s curtain raiser, but boy, he is a talent. He was close to heading offshore for an opportunity this year, but has instead decided to stay. And why wouldn't you, Troy? Because the guys he's got to learn off, Jeremiah Pai, Tiva Nerona, Jeremiah Pai, who's been in NRL systems, he's been around a long, long time, and Tiva Nerona, who's arguably the best domestic half in New Zealand right now that's not playing NRL. So a great, I guess, education for the young fella.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a stage to be playing on today, especially for the young guys in the crew. And look, to be fair for both teams, I think this is going to be an intensity match, and it'll be something that they'll certainly have fond memories of.
Other ones to watch out for, Daniel Palavi, who has a long time been one of the best forwards in New Zealand. He comes up against a representative-laden front row, or pack in general, Soape Kavaliku, another experienced campaigner. They'll enjoy coming up against each other. They were teammates for a while there at the Mount Albert Lions, both now at new clubs, so that battle will be interesting as well. Also, the battle at dummy half, Siueli Makawi, the captain of the Point Chevrolet Pirates, up against Zach Tippins, who was the Auckland Rugby League Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago, a vastly experienced player who so much of this Glenora play centres around. So those are some of the big battles to watch. We're going to bring up the team list now and run you through the 2 teams as the old boys make their way out to form the Guard of Honour. And at the back for the Point Chevrolet Pirates, that is Maddie Fai Totoa. On the wings, Sola Solomona and Tama Pasini. The centres, that's an experienced centres pairing, Marlo Solomona and Gary Foima-Ono. In the halves, Jeremiah Pai, he'll wear 19 but play standoff. He joins Dylan Tavita. In the front row, the engine room, Daniel Palavi and Abraham Papali'i. And Makawi is the hooker. In the back row, Tuitama, Gavitt and Chris Seal. And on the bench, Tavita Latu, Kolionioni, Michael Key and Kitiona Pasini. That is how the Ortex Point Chevrolet Pirates will line up, coached by Zane Pocklington. And their away team, the visitors at the back, Palima Siaki represented Auckland a couple of weeks ago, joined by his centre, or his wing teammate I should say, Simon Luafalialo. And the centres, Chaz Brown and Tau Aalo. James Tolmata is the other wing. In the halves, Jordan Tolde and Phil Kingy. Talk about experience. Both of those guys have been at the top of their game for a number of years. On the front row, Soape Kavaliku, Paya Manukia, Zach Tippins is the hooker, Daniel Ruilu Buchanan and Hami Loaki at the back row, and locking the scrum, Shane Hannam. And on the bench, Toka Tilata, Uielu, Rangi and Sua Po. So that's how the Glenora Bears will take the field as well, coached by Bernie Perenara. As we see the old boys all set up and ready to go. The team's going through their final.
Yeah, and if you've just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the Point Chevrolet Pirates that'll be playing today. And good to have them down there. I know there's a lot of pride and respect with all the old boys and all of the clubs across the Auckland Rugby League. And what a fantastic opportunity for these guys to line up. Hope that's not me with a frog in my throat becoming emotional. But Dave Tonkin's got them all together. I see a legend out there standing in the middle, still fit, ready to go. Dave Bailey. I could be here all day naming this lot. See Chris Scholes out there as well. And for all the Point Chevrolet Pirates around the world, and I know there's a lot in Australia, Gold Coast, who'll be here today, who'll know a lot of these faces that are out on the park as we're waiting for the Pirates now and the Glenora Bears for kickoff at 2:30. And what a match this is building to be. There's so many people down at the park today. It's absolutely near a full house that could be possible at a public ground.
Yeah, first place, second on the ladder. Point Chevrolet sitting at the top, but Glenora nestled in behind, and while they're behind on competition points, they're smashing them in differential right now. Glenora have had some big results, but it's their defence, Troy, conceding less than 10 points a game. I know you're a stats man. They're tough to break down though, and I guess with a young halfback, Glenora potentially can try and frustrate this Point Chevrolet team a little bit and maybe force some errors from forced offloads and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Bernard Perenara, head coach of the Bears, he's pretty sharp around that sort of stuff, and he'll be trying to pull every lever he can to get an advantage today, and if they think there's a weakness there, you'll see them, you know, put the accelerator down and certainly put that young fella under a bit of pressure.
Couple of big clashes to look out for in the middle of the park. Hami Luaki and Michael Key. Don't be surprised if they come together at some point in this game. We saw them have a number of good clashes over the years at club level, and I understand a few words exchanged in the Auckland-Tonga game last week as well, so it's great to see that rivalry brewing, and you know, this is the matchups that people come to watch, so we're looking forward to that one. Also to Veta Latu as well in that team, who would be a former Tongan teammate of Hami Luaki's as well. So, and how good to have those sort of players back in this competition, Troy. Hami Luaki, he's played for the Warriors, Bradford, Manly, represented both the Kiwis and Tonga. To have him come back to this competition and add that experience, it's awesome.
He set the place alight, you know, especially as we're going into the end of last year's SAS Fox, especially at the grand final.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just untouchable, wasn't he? Just untouchable. So it'll be great to see how he tracks today, and I know that he's been chomping at the bit to be back here. And the Pirates have just finished their last part of the team talk. The old boys are ready. They can all have a bit of a wave. And as they get ready now, here come the Point Chevalier Pirates. The Bears are all set. This is shaping up to be a fantastic game of rugby league down here today, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bell ringer. Here they come. Here come the Pirates.
So led out by
Guard of Honour.
Nakawi at the front there. And a lovely touch from the club today. The All-Tex Point Chevalier Pirates making their way out with the ball boys in tow.
And a few of them look like old Pirates. Some have got eyes missing and wooden legs and a couple of hooks. Well done, boys. Yeah.
We can see on screen there as well our referees for today. Simon Taylor has the middle. We've had Simon for a couple of games this year. Corey Jewell and Nigel Williams on the sidelines. So we've got an experienced trio to do this game. The best referees for the best games, and this is arguably the game of the season. It's one I've been looking forward to ever since round one, really, Troy, when we saw them in action over at Harold Moody. On that day, Point Chevalier Pirates wrestled control of the Root Rooster. Will it change hands again today? They've defended it a number of times since then, most recently last week against Howick, where they won by 3 points. Well, Glenora, they come off a good win over Mount Albert last week, so both coming into it in fine form.
And I think, you know, we talked about this on Friday at the office, Corey. You know, we're only halfway through the season, but make no mistake, this will not be a page in the history of Fox 2018 Rugby League. I'm picking it'll be a chapter.
Beautifully said. So Point Chevalier to kick off will be Glenora with first chance with the ball.
And if you hear noise in the background, it's all of our guests that have piled into the ARL live streaming tent, led by Greg, who's making sure he's protecting our food for the cameramen upstairs.
So here we go, kick-off round 10 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Root Rooster on the line, first plays second, and it is Hami Luaki who eventually scoops up the ball and is set upon by 3 Point Chevalier defenders. Bit of a scrappy start there, and hello, big contact already. They're not wasting any time here, the boys. Kavaliku. Shane Hannon gets met in a solid tackle there. Kitiona Pasini, who's come into the starting side. Kavaliku looks up, runs it at Seal. But Seal's first up contact. Perfect. Here's a great defender, Chris Seal. Spin it out the back. Tolde, he gets to his kick. Good one down to the corner. He turns Point Chevalier around. A difficult one for Faitotoa.
Did well picking it up, though.
He did indeed. And managed to avoid the sideline as well. Now a little dart out of dummy half from Pasini. These two teams littered with representative talent. You look at a player like Sola Solomona, who has played ISP for the New Zealand Warriors, represented New Zealand residents and New Zealand tag. And then players like Abraham Papali'i, who has been around the world, played in 2 French finals in years gone by before returning to Auckland. Still chasing that dream of a second shot at the NRL. Played 2 games for the Roosters in 2016. Jeremiah Pai gets to the kick. Goes across the body. Siaki's back to pick it up. Looks up and tries to find a gap in the green wall. There's not one, and he gets hit. 35 off the line now. Tode is the dummy half. The outside backs getting involved here now. Young Lua Falialo, another of the Auckland squad members in this Glenora side. Hami Luaki with the show. Takes him up over halfway. Driven to ground. Kavaliku straightens things up, and just hearing some of the noises going on in that tackle says it all. Tippins to Manukia, who plays at the line now. Tode brings Siaki in. Siaki to A'alo. A'alo with the fend. Toa A'alo. A'alo is going all the way. There it is. There's the opener. Down the left edge, and it is Toa A'alo who breaks down the left, fends off a couple, and then he's just got too much pace. Let's take a look on the replay. It starts with Manukia, who plays nicely at the line. That is a lovely ball from the forward there, and Siaki puts him into a gap. He's got them in two minds there, breaks the tackle of Tavita, and at this point he's got the pace to get around, evades Faitotoa, reaches out and scores. Glenora open the scoring.
Great try. So both teams have started really well. They both completed their sets, and Glenora off the back of that one, going over on the left-hand side. As we wait for the kick to come. Fantastic start for them. They're only a few minutes in, and points on the board. So I dare say Bena Perenara and the coaching team, Ross and the crew over there, will be very happy with the way that that's kicked off for them down here at the home of the Pirates. In the earlier game, Corey, Papakura Sea Eagles up over the Mount Albert Lions.
Yeah, so big.
I bet you they were surprised themselves.
Big implications for the ladder on that one as well. Depending on the Marist result, Papakura potentially go 4 points clear of the bottom as we see the kick from Chaz Brown.
And we'll just get confirmation on that.
Yeah, our camera shot just went out of shot right at the end there, and I don't think the kick was good. So the score will remain Glenora Bears 4, Point Chevalier Pirates 0.
Line's good.
Manukia gets us back underway.
Glenora looking for a fast play the ball.
Shane Hannum, Kelston Boys High School graduate. Kavaliku, big swape, runs over the top of one. Palavi comes in to finish it off. Really looking forward to that battle. It'll be an ongoing battle today. Manukia driving those legs. Another of the boys who have played a fair bit of footy up with the Vodafone Warriors reserves this year. Tolde now turns Ruilu Buchanan back on the inside. A Wellington product is Ruilu Buchanan. Spent the early part of his career with the Porirua Vikings down there. Really burst onto the scene last year, didn't he, Troy, as that rugged running back rower, and boy, he was really good last year. Arguably the premier back rower on the comp last year.
Absolutely.
Fui Maono, 30 out from the line. Good line speed from Glenora. They're restricting the meters so far here as Daniel Palavi takes it forward. Hannum up top, the ball comes loose. It's a messy offload, but it's picked up by Makawi, and now they're going to come out to this left edge. Solomona is contained. Luaki coming in to finish off, drives into the legs. Gavitt hit hard, and Luaki ragdolling
to the
it.
ground.
Well, how long until we see some fireworks from this one? Because Hami Luaki is not messing around today.
He was in the play the ball area.
There we go. There's the first penalty that kicks the ball in an offside position. Hami's saying, "What are you talking about?"
It's a bit of conversation out there. But, he was in the dummy half play the ball area, and he sort of looked at the referee and said, "You're kidding."
Tavita to kick for touch. This 18-year-old halfback, so impressive. Product of the Richmond system, has played for the Junior Warriors. Gavitt will get us back underway now. Luaki up and over the top. And another penalty. Oh, Harmy, 2 in a row. And we're going to have a pretty early talking to here. Referee Taylor not having any of it. So we're straight into it.
Bit of passion, bit of
We
passion.
don't want to go back to last week. Let's just clean it up.
One of the
Yeah, but you're trying to get in the way.
Glenora players that I'm looking forward to see go around today. Phil Kingy, I think,
Yeah.
you know, he's going to...
We had a big year last year, didn't he?
he
Led
had a
Glenora to
he
the
had a-
Fox,
he had a
played for New Zealand
fantastic year.
residents. I believe he was captain of that residents team as well. So
Oh, go one.
back into it we go now. Nella Palavi, 10 out from the line. Glenora have just got to settle things down a little bit here. Tuitama ganged up on, 3-man tackle.
Oh,
Manukia involved as well. Short to Palavi, who leaves the ball behind. Up and in the face defence, and they force the area there. Good work from the Glenora Bears.
one now, babe. Nice and tight. Chickens down. Chickens down. Lucy's in.
Scrum to pack down, 10 metres out from the line.
Down, down, down. Out.
Chaz Brown.
Play off, play off.
Chaz Brown still driving the legs. Copped big contact early. Tippins now.
Movement. Hit him up, Daniel. Hold 2. Go through.
Manukia with a little bit of footwork at the line, taken by 3 Pirates defenders.
On the line. Hold 4. Good.
Tippins now jumps out of dummy half, spots up that the markers aren't quite there. Messy stuff from Glenora. Ball loose, knock on, so errors both ways now.
Knock on.
And a bit of a concern for Glenora down and back play. It looks like ARL is getting some attention from the trainer.
Another chat in the engine room by the looks of it, Corey.
Excited out there, Ruck.
It's been a fairly frantic start to this game. End-to-end stuff, but an error each way now as Pai feeds the scrum. Come down the short side. Sola Solomona, so often among the top try scorers in the competition.
Hold. Quicker, Shane, quicker. Play on, play on.
Gavitt gets to a quick play of the ball. McCowie jumps out. Heads up defensive play though from Zach Tippins. Got there to shut it down. Pai. Passini, who is met, taken straight to ground.
Hold. Go 4.
Makawi, Seal, turns back inside now. Tuitama,
Great
10
deal.
out from the line now are the Pirates. 4-0 down early. Pai puts the kick across. Now they're in driver's space. That is lovely work. Jeremiah Pai puts it on a dime for Sola Solomona, who reels it in and finishes. That's a great try.
See that on the SAS ARL Fox Memorial replay. And they set themselves up early for this, didn't they?
And just take a look here at the vision of Jeremiah Pai. At this point here, he knows the winger is in. The winger has come too far in, and you can see it here. He was never going to recover. But for Pai to put that ball where he did, that is experience and that is pinpoint execution. So Dylan Tavita with a tough one to start with. He's a brilliant goal kicker though, Tavita. We've seen him in previous live stream games nail these ones. But he is literally on the sideline as he places the ball. Shout out to the Auckland Rugby League Referees Association. You can see on the shirt there, arlrs.co.nz. Give them a visit if you're interested in becoming involved. Tavita to attempt the conversion. He's out of shot, but we can't turn the camera too much more, just given that he is that far into the crowd. You see we're picking up a bit of side imagery there.
Engineering there, my friend.
So we wait for the conversion. There we go. Wide shot a little clearer. Taking his time with it, and fair enough. Strikes it nicely, Tavita, but it's away and to the left. So the score remains Ortex, Point Chevrolet Pirates 4, Glenora Bears 4.
Massive crowd down here today, Corey. A lot of people, you know, either side of the ARL live streaming unit, and been here for the reserves match just earlier, plus the curtain raiser. Revis Real Estate, major sponsors of the Glenora Bears, and if it's the Revis I know, I'm probably going to get a Facebook like sometime later on today. Here we go.
I think Greyland Tavern as well, offering some support to the Bears. They support a number of clubs around the Auckland Rugby League comp, so big shout out to them as well. A favourite watering hole for rugby league types. And the ball put down by Seal. An uncharacteristic mistake from the ultra-consistent Lockford, who was the Junior Warriors Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago. Captain of that side. He's a Maris Saints Junior, but has really excelled since coming across to Point Chevrolet. He was great in the Auckland game the other week as well.
Great to see the Auckland jersey back in play too. A lot of tradition in that blue and white stripe. Blue and white stripe.
Tolde feeds the scrum. Tippins collects. They get straight into it via Lua Falialo, who is 15 out from the line. Kingy, the dummy half, goes short side. Hami Loaki, tackled beautifully down low by Malo Solomona. Manukia to Tolde. Tolde to big Sawape. Look out. Sawape winding up, still driving the legs. Good defense though from Point Chev. Half the team is on him, and they had to be. Tippins. Shuffles play on now. Tolde will have to surrender here, you would think. Thought about the little flick pass out the back. And a penalty at the end of it as well. That's late in the tackle count. Tolde not happy about something in the tackle. Tippins with the ball. And tap and go, you would think, will be the play here. Manukia lining up, and here we go. Big Paya. Standing in the tackle. Seal cannonballs down at the legs to get him to ground. Kavaliku. Look at the numbers they're getting there on Big Sawape. They know how dangerous he can be near the line. And Point Chevrolet taking no risks. Tolde juggles and then delivers one around the bootlaces for Ruilu Buchanan, who puts it down. So another change of possession, and Troy, after a pretty clean start to the game, a couple of errors starting to creep in now.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Or would you like me to tell you how many? Okay. Yeah, all right. So
you claim to be the stats man.
Yeah, well, Glenora have come up with 2 handling errors, as has Point Chevrolet with 2. So,
Yeah,
you know,
so-
even Stevens at this point. Glenora probably having the best territory position at the moment in regards to the kickoff of the game. And, you know, they're camped down here inside the Pirates' waters. As Pirates get ready now to grind it out or set sail.
Oh, it's a masterclass in pun. Point Chev get us back underway. Sola Solomona.
Up now, Zach. Oh, good. 3.
Good run out of dummy half there. Getting some crucial yardage there, and they're lucky not to give away a penalty there. Glenora struggling to match it with the Point Chevrolet pace on this one. Shout out to the Point Chevalier ball boys. Down here in their strip today, helping out. Fielded at the back by Siaki.
Movement! In the mark! Oh! Off the mark.
Played off the mark there.
Back, 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 back! Back, listen. Let's go.
And played off the mark again. So eventually we get there and play resumes.
Movement! In the mark! Oh, left side, left side. Good.
Here come the Bears.
Shane Hannum. They're coming down this right edge a fair bit, aren't they, Glenora? There's the edge where Hami Loaki lives. They obviously like that matchup down that side of the field.
Yeah, he's jumped onto that side a couple of times, especially when they were downside the 10 there. It looked like he was going to, you know, really put pressure on that right edge, as you said. And here he comes again. Oh, he's lost.
Ball sport loose. Who was that off? Was it off Marlo Solomona? No, it wasn't. So it's going to be a Point Chevalier ball. Hami Loaki can't quite believe it.
Yeah, no, the linesman's called it. Statman's recorded it.
So scrum to pack down on halfway.
And a big welcome into Alan Pearson, who's just slipped in through the back door here as he joins us in one of the biggest clashes at the SAS Fox this year.
Jeremiah Pai to feed the scrum, another of the former Warriors on the field today. Foy Mono straightens things up.
Up now! Stay square, Jordan! Oh, good one.
We touched on it in the pre-game, Troy, how many close games Point Chevalier have been involved in this year. They've made a habit of winning those ones. 3 one-point victories and a couple by sort of that 4-point range as well. So they are more than comfortable in the grind, as we see Tuitama do very well to bring that one in.
Up now! Oh,
A lot of chatter on the field, Corey, from both teams. High energy.
Pallavi.
up now, team! Oh, 4.
Again getting involved, big Nella Pallavi.
Yeah, Mooking! 5 last.
Down the right side they come and Tavita's put it down. And there wasn't a lot wrong with the pass. Tavita's just taken his eyes off it there. We can't with the error, so
Hand over.
this fairly high error rate continues in this game.
Back on the set.
And it's the 3rd error for the Pirates.
Release now, release! Keep coming. Oh, 1.
A lot of encouragement from the Bears on the far side there. About, come on, ref.
Oh. 10, go forward.
Sent back to replay it.
On the mark.
Playing off the mark again.
Tackle 2. Yep.
So referee Taylor making sure to stamp his authority on this one early. He knows how big the occasion is, and I guess taking away the risk of that emotion spilling over in the early exchanges. He's been very authoritative in his approach. Tippins wants a quick play of the ball. He won't get that, but he will get the penalty.
Yeah, you're like calling a meter when you're getting up.
The Pirates have given away 4 penalties so far, and that'll be something Zane will probably address at half-time. They can't afford to keep going that against this sort of talent.
Well, and it was the downfall of Mount Albert in the earlier game as well. Poor discipline.
Great settle.
Big Suapol takes them 40 out from the line now. Paia Manukia, who is met in solid contact. Kitiona Passini lifting the leg, getting him to ground now. Shane Hannum.
Great run.
Excellent run from Hannum. Got a good roll on here to Glenora. Tippins to Tolde, back inside to Suapol.
They've just got size 11 at park.
Yep, it is unrelenting. And look at some of the bodies that this Glenora team have at their disposal now. Hannum flicks the ball at the back. They've got a numbers advantage here. Hami Luaki throws the cut out. There it is. And it is Simon Luafalialo who will go in for Glenora's 2nd try. Let's take a look now on the SAS Sporting replay. It starts with Shane Hannum, who delivers a really nice little pass here. The offload out the back, and then they know they've got the numbers advantage. Hami Loaki sums it up nicely. Throws that ball right across the face of Chaz Brown to Lua Falialo, who finishes neatly. He's gone very close to the dead ball line there as well. Coach Bernie Perenara probably didn't need that one. But another 4 points on the board. Kick to come from Chaz Brown. Difficult one as well. But Troy, you mentioned the size that Glenora have, and on that set there, they just kept sending big bodies, didn't they? And in the end, when Hannum was able to promote a bit of second phase, they caught point Chev short on that side.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a number of choices, plenty of options, and when they went back into the centre there next to the sticks, it probably sucked in a few defenders, and then Lawaki playing makeshift centre because he could have, certainly settled that up himself. He took the right option and big cutout pass, as you said, hit the winger on the fly, and no one was there to touch him. Went round, try. Just away to the right of the SAS upright.
So score remains Vortex Point Chevrolet Pirates 4, Glenora Bears 8, 22 minutes gone here at Walker Park.
Massive game too, and if you log on to aucklandleague.co.nz, you can hit the live link for getting the live streaming link sent through to your mobile phone. One click and you're watching rugby league action.
Siaki had to get on his bike to get to that one, did well to reel it in the end.
Hold! Hit him up! Hold! Back up on the mark. We're pushing forward. Walking forward.
Taylor has a feeling that Glenora are trying to steal a bit of yardage once again, so he calls them back. Big sewer pot.
Release the arm! No markers, no markers!
Great run.
Hit him up! Keep coming.
Penalty at the end of it as well. So the Bears, with all the momentum, Zach Tippins is keen to get things back underway. We're going to have time off and a chat. We'll be picking some of that up on our audio. We'll let you have a listen into that.
You're not going to listen to me. There's no point in having a conversation. He was running into the ruck. That's all out, okay? That's what it's for.
Bears.
So the Bears receiving their 5th penalty of the game.
Right. On the line, on the line.
And it came off Point Chevrolet, just needing to try and slow things down a bit. So Graham Suapole, the bench man. Tippins, dummies to the right, instead they go left, up and in defence. Arlo, has he finished in the corner? I think he has.
Power play on that left edge. Showed a lot of strength to going over there, and the referee has awarded the try.
Beautiful finish from Arlo in the end. Let's take a look now. It starts with Zach Tippins. Clever little play out of dummy half. Dummies that way, gets rid of the markers, just gives himself that bit of breathing space. And then from here, I don't know how he's got through this. Both Fuima Ono and Pasini raced up, but then Arlo carrying it in the right hand, finishes things off. And it's a nice try for the Glenora Bears.
Lots of high energy in the Bears chat as they're all heading back. Big support down here today. Everyone over there having a V.
Chaz Brown getting rid of the unnecessary obstacles in the way of this kick, right up against the sideline, and the Glenora fan kindly holding the guide rope for him as well.
Well, knowing that at 7 o'clock this morning, I probably wouldn't have put that flag on top of the road there.
So the talk going on at this point, Chev huddle, Troy, what do you think it'll be about?
Well, stop giving away penalties. That'd be the first
That's a
part.
good starting point.
And, you know, their completion rate's been okay.
Yeah.
A couple of silly errors, though, and both teams are, you know, guilty of that.
Brown away again. So score remains Glenora Bears 12, Point Chevrolet Pirates 4, 25 minutes gone.
You have to wonder, though, some of these conversions at goal don't come back to haunt them because, you know, we've got a long way to go yet.
Yeah, he hasn't had an easy one today, Chaz Brown. All three up against the sideline or near enough.
Good.
So the Pirates get us back on the way. They need a big defensive set here, do the Pirates. Paia Manukia gets things rolling.
Release down, stay square. Hold. Hold. Quick out 15. Movement. In mark.
Suapol, who's had some good carries since coming on the field.
10 off, 10 off.
Shane Hannum as well.
Good now. Release down, stay square. Hold. Hold 3.
Tippins to Kingy, who brings Hami Loaki back into it. Gotta love that little step that Loaki puts on each time.
Right, though, they've got him camped over here on this edge, haven't they?
Brown clears the ruck and Hannum will settle.
Good. Nah.
Tolde gets to the kick. Tavita Latu, well, that's late. And that is a penalty. Fair enough as well. That is a silly play there from Tavita Latu. Really, there was nothing on. Tolde's got the kick away, and Latu comes in late with the shoulder, didn't wrap the arm. So Zach Tippins to tap and go. Back underway we go. Suapol still driving the legs. Pallavi involved over the top, looking to spin him round. Tippins looking both ways. Ruili Buchanan, he's over. Daniel Ruili Buchanan. Didn't look like there was a lot on, but he's reached out. And he is a big tall thing. Just managed to get the body over the line. Let's take a look. It starts with this one. And it's a carry that draws in a number of defenders. But really, Point Chevrolet will be disappointed with this because at this stage, Ruili Buchanan, wasn't a lot on, as I say, but he reaches out, scores the try. We mentioned earlier he's a product of the Wellington system. Played his junior footy with the Porirua Vikings. Did it all last year, won the Fox, was an Akarana rep, played for the New Zealand residents, and then eventually cracked a spot in the Vodafone Warriors reserve grade side. He played in round 1. And a change of kicker as well by the look of it, Troy. It looks like James Taumata has now assumed the kicking, so
Must have heard what I said, eh?
is a tactical change, or indeed Bernie Perenara did take your point earlier.
Yeah, well, us old heads, Bernie will know. When he's watching the replay, he'll be rolling his eyes, having a cup of tea on that one. And it's been all Bears in the last part of this passage of play. You know, they've had pretty much the ball from kickoff down the field. They got a penalty on that. They went in again. Point Chevrolet have been starved of possession.
Taumata to attempt the conversion.
Big shout out to our major sponsors, SAS Sporting Apparel, major sponsors of the SAS Fox.
And this one's away as well, so no luck off the boot so far today for the Glenora Bears. But they still lead 16 points to 4 over the Point Chevrolet Pirates. Half an hour gone here in round 10 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. If you are joining us for the first time this year, welcome into the broadcast. We'll be bringing you some SAS College Rugby League action through the rest of the year, as well as the Farrelly Photos Women in League Day. I'm really looking forward to that one. Kingy does well to get to that one on the full, hands it off to Hami.
I don't think Hami was looking like he was winding up for that one. Here come the Bears
Kingy.
again.
Oh, big contact there. And it was on Lua Falialo. Boy, you're a brave winger coming in looking for work on this one. Hannum is taken low. 40 out from the line. Tolde hands it off to big Suapol. Oh, big Graham. Hasn't he been good off the bench?
Massive minutes.
And now Manukia gets things rolling. Papali'i got there late. Siaki now chimes into the line. Was he caught high? Yes, he was. And there are men down everywhere. Time off.
I'll just put another penalty on the board there for the Bears. This is absolutely putting the Pirates to the sword.
And Manuki is down in back play. And I tell you what, he copped a fair hit from Abraham Papali'i there. So down in back play, time is off. Penalty awarded. So it looks like Manukia will get back up to the feet and continue playing. And it's Big G who gets us back underway. Zach Tippins surveying his options. Hannum goes out the back door to Kingy, to Luaki. Luaki with that big dummy. Wrestled to ground. Spins to Itama, out of the contact now. Manukia plays at the line. Tolde straightens. Tolde dancing through. Papali'i takes full advantage and gets a shot on the Bears' chief playmaker now. They play short back inside to Manukia. Good defense so far from the Pirates. Tippins kicks in behind. Tolde! Jordan Tolde, they're in again, Glenora. Wow. Zach Tippins.
With a tip.
Well, it starts here, and I'll tell you what, Manukia went very close, but it's a clever little play here from Tippins. Tolde as well to follow in on it. I'm not sure he necessarily knew the play was on, but look at Tolde, just sneaks around the back, gets there right before the dead ball line. Referee Taylor on the spot to call it.
Well, this is going to be Groundhog Day, Corey. Bears will go back down, set up, wait for the ball to kick off, and Point Chevalier will assume defensive mode again.
And they've been relentless. They've just kept throwing it at them. They've had the Lions' share of possession. And the Bears, just too many big bodies. Zach Tippins very clever off the end of it as well. He has been the best player on the park so far, I dare say. Controlling that ruck beautifully. And now Taumata to kick for an 18-point lead.
And all of those points on the board so far are all off tries. I don't think they've
No, you're right.
converted nothing so far.
Not a single conversion. Surely this time. We have it. There we go. Glenora Bears tick it over to 22 points. Point Chevalier. Well, the response needs to come pretty soon because the Bears, you just get the feeling, Troy, are growing in confidence.
Yeah.
With every single...
Turning into big grizzly bears.
Yeah, that's right. With every carry. Manukia. Bang. Straight back into it. Really found another level last year, did Paya Manukia. He was attracting a lot of interest from NRL clubs. In the end, ended up staying in Auckland. Shane Hannum, another of the graduates of the SAS College Rugby League competition. Kavaliku, good carry forward there. Suape taking a few with him. Last tackle coming up. Sloppy play of the ball. Tippins trips over Kavaliku. Tolde gets to his kick. Chase is good as well. And tell you what, when it's not your day, it is not your day. And the Pirates, they are in the middle of a nightmare right now. Faitotoa puts that one down. We're seeing here as the pressure comes on, good players, a few mistakes start to creep in. You can see hands on heads there for the Pirates boys. So both sides taking the chance to have a bit of a rest here.
Yeah, I do say the Pirates will need it.
5 minutes to go in the first half. Tolde to feed the scrum. Can the Bears strike again? They're going to come out to this right edge first of all. Chaz Brown had a fairly quiet day so far. They've preferred that left edge for the most part. Siaki centralised via Manu Kia, who gets the offload away now. Here's the second phase. Good up and in defence though, Malo Solomona. Credit to him, he's done a job on Luaki so far.
Yeah, he needed to. He didn't want to get that guy up with any momentum or speed.
Short side they go again, and there we go. Finally, Point Chevalier. No, they don't, because there's a knock-on. I was just about to say.
You've just given them the kiss of death, Corey.
Finally, some possession, but Saula Solomona, well, really through no fault of his own, that was a tough ball to pick up, and he comes up with a little bobble in there. So more defence coming up for Point Chevalier.
This is a hard day in the office.
Let's go ball now, let's go. Stick it down. Stick it, Brucey's down. Front row. On your top. Out!
Tolde goes to the line. Jordan Tolde just as well. Michael Key managed to hold on there. Although, they're in again. Taylor points to the spot. And this is getting a little ugly now for Point Chevalier. Look at this. Tolde goes to the line, dances through a couple. The big fend. Michael Key involved as well. And it looks dead at this point. But somehow, Tolde shakes free,
Out, yeah.
gets up, rolls over another two. That's quite an incredible try when you look at it in slow motion. The effort Jordan Tolde has had to go to there to get over the line. His second try of the game. But it must be said, Troy, that defence was un-Point Chevalier-like, wasn't it? Some of the contact there,
Well, they're
not what we have come to expect of this team.
no, you know, just the mounting pressure. I mean, back-to-back completed sets. They have not come out of their 10, let alone their 20, over this big passage of play. And every time they've completed the set, the Bears go in again, score a try. One silly error, looked like Point was going to get it back. You gave them the kiss of death. They lost it with a knock on. Bears feed the scrum, and that's the result of that. A try by the post, and the kick is converted. And we roll back to the start again. Bears getting ready for receiving the kickoff, and Point Chevalier, they're going to have to get a lot more positive than what they are right now.
They just need some ball to start with. I mean, it's dead set been 10 or 15 minutes since they had any significant possession. It's just been try after try. And now, with not long to go in this first half, they may well not even finish on any. Big Suape back on for his second stint.
Oh, still going, muscling up. He's loving it.
Hannum runs it straight into Papali'i. Tolde to Ruili Buchanan. A bit of footwork at the line, Ruili Buchanan. Really dangerous. Tolde now jumps out of dummy half.
Great little skirt run too. Loaki back out on this right edge again.
Manukia met front on by Michael Key that time. They get the ball away though, and play continues. A bit of rain now starting to come down here at Walker Park. Kingy gets to the kick. It's high. Tester at the back for Faitotoa, who takes it beautifully. Well done, young man. It's been a tough game to date so far, but that time reels it in beautifully. Sola Solomona now comes in, and I'll tell you what, the Point Chevalier backs are going to have to muscle up here because the forwards have had it. The amount of defence they've had to do. Halftime can't come soon enough. Abraham Papali'i takes it forward, gets smashed for his trouble. Siren goes in the background. And here's the final play of the game, of the half, I should say. And that'll do it. It was the Glenora Bears 28, Point Chevalier Pirates 4, halftime of the round 10 SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Clash.
And don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. At halftime break, we've got some highlights coming up from last week's match. And you'll see some fantastic tries there and also some great defense. See you soon. Back in a very short moment.
Live league action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, hit up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action, aucklandleague.co.nz.
Brings him back on the inside, little bit of footwork, reaches out. We're going to need to wait here for confirmation from our referee, but it's a try. Rice goes backdoor instead to Tiaho. Tiaho now brings Bana in. Bana, they've got a numbers advantage here, but he's pushed the ground, gets the ball at the back, James Watterson. Oh! Fourth tackle. Half to half. Tiaho now, Jordan Tiaho, step one, step two, Richie Holani comes through, but he's got there, Tiaho. Northcote are on the board again. How much longer can they hold though? Just as I say that, there it is. Finally the breakthrough, and under a mass of bodies, Otahu have scored it. For that line, I thought we might get the second game before we heard it, but anyway. Northcote, feed, Bana. Tuigamala, who is a powerful runner. Tuigamala! Oh! Last tackle coming up. Connick darts out now. Kick for himself. Thomas Connick. He's gone pretty close here. I think it's. Hang on, he's got there. I thought the.
They didn't show any leakage. Really performed well.
Daniels now brings Watterson in at the line. James Watterson. There it is, the icing on the cake, the Northcote Tigers. Shuffle out now, Briggs was looming in support. Leo Pepe, I think it is. And Toyafa, Leo Pepe opens the scoring, the big fella gets it. Oh, the short side now, Tuponiwa. And goes very close, right up against the line.
Right up against it. I think he's on it.
Over the line, you're right, Troy. Tamati now steps back inside. Reese Tamati. Pops the ball out the back. Palamo! Beautiful rugby league. There's Stone Dunn hanging on his shoulder. Stone Dunn hands it off to Dyer. David Dyer. And he gets over for Richmond's first try. Love it.
They're going to charge outside their half. They've split them and gone.
And he's got Palamo coming across and cover defense. Back on the inside. Siave, Tupou. Richmond are in again. A whole lot more. Bumping his way towards the try line. Neil now promotes second phase. They've got numbers on the right edge here now, Richmond. Then Muffa steps back inside, still going. They're struggling to contain them. Briggs gets across. He's just short of the line. In fact, he's not short of the line. He's scored. What a brilliant try. Just short of the line. Motion now shuffles play. Oh,
what D!
Akoi Atmore goes short side to motion.
Shot.
Sells him with the dummy. Sells everyone, including the cameraman, and Brandon Motion will run him around under the post. Good defense so far from Richmond. Havaliku. Thinks a little kick in behind. The back rower is chasing. Akoi Atmore spins it out. Motion. Stone Dunn. Stone Dunn shuffles it on now. Kohifa. Nice little play, brings Tupou back. Now Tupou darting across field in a hurry. Siave Tupou, what a stunning try! Siave Tupou out of nowhere. Centralised through Neil. Stone Dunn, a little bit of footwork. Stone Dunn looking for a gap on the outside. Stone Dunn flips it back inside. Robert Valencia is going to score, and is that the game? Byron goes in the background, and that's all she wrote. It is the Richmond Bulldogs 34, Marist Saints 20, round 9.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pirates